Guys, it's Meme Stever 1000 and today we're doing a face reveal video and I'm gonna show you guys how to do Minecraft in real life. So we're gonna dig holes and we're gonna cut down trees with our bare hands. A lot of times when you start the game you gotta cut trees down with your bare hands, precisely like this. What do you do next after you've chopped down your wood? Maybe you dig a hole. Isn't that a beautiful view over there though?
Look at those flowers.
Am I right?
Wow.
Whoa. Did you?
Whoa.
Oh. Whoa.
Oh,
Is that
whoa.
an injured person? Is that another human being who is also injured and is, oh, bleeding. Bleeding.
That is blood.
Bleeding. Oh.
Luckily.
Conveniently placed like an entire human being space next to this other human being is like supplies that might be able to help us with treating the patient, and also the patient assessment system written out. What you gotta do is get consent to treat, because if you don't have that, well then, you know, that's rude. Anyway, hey pal, buddy, bro, we got your consent to treat?
Yeah.
We got it. First thing you gotta do is sanitize the wound to avoid infections, not inspections. Anyway, easily open up your antiseptic towelette and remove it from the packaging. But keep the packaging because you don't want to litter, and that's rude to animals. Anyway, open up your towelette, hopefully faster than I do it if your patient is in immediate danger, and carefully sanitize the outside of the wound. Because you don't want to get soap in there. That would suck pretty bad. Look at that, all nice and sanitized. Sanitize the wound, you gotta open up your water, and you want to put some of that on a gauze pad. Bring it out so you don't just get water all over the place. You gotta bring it out. And then you put the water on the wound, and that's how you clean the wound itself. Wow, all clean. Okay, so when the bleeding is as particularly bad as it is right now, you would probably want to do something called a tourniquet, which is where you cut off the blood so that it bleeds a little bit less. And so, just gotta tie it kind of tight, but not tight enough that, like, you know, your arm's gonna die. You have to get it amputated, just tight enough to cut off some blood. And then you gotta tighten it a little bit like this. Then it should be good. Tuck it in under. There we go. Next, to close off the wound, you're gonna want to use some Steri strips. Now, these are a little bit inconvenient to open. We got two sizes. We got big and small. Gonna go ahead and open the big one because this is a large wound. Just, you know, go for treatment. Give me a second. Maybe be a little bit quicker than me. Now we gotta put this transparent, semi-permanent dressing on so that we can monitor the state of the wound later on. So you open the package like this. This one maybe isn't big enough for the wound necessarily, but we gotta make do with what we have, you know, what we got. Just wanna peel off that madness right there. Just place it over the wound as best as you can. And then, wait, give me a second.
It's upside down.
Oh my god, did I put it on wrong?
Yeah. One.
So put on that clear bandage so that we can monitor the state of the wound. It might get a little messed up because of, you know, the blood and all. But don't forget to package your waste, you know, do your best. Along with the patient assessment system to properly assess the patient, if I can speak today. So, Step one is scene size up. You know, surveyed the scene for hazards. The only hazard was the falling out of the tree. Other than that, no hazards. Got to determine the mechanism of injury, the ny'all. And so, what caused this issue, this injury?
Fell out of a tree.
Interesting. Okay, so that's the mechanism of injury. We don't have any gloves to protect ourselves from bodily substance, so should have brought some of those. We got to determine the number of patients. Again, looks like it's just the one. Okay, so form a general impression of the patient. How severe does the problem seem? That looks like a pretty severe cut, so I'm gonna say pretty severe. Okay, so initial assessment for the ABCDEs. So first, airway. Does the patient have a clear airway? Can you breathe?
Yeah.
Okay, seems like we got a clear airway.
You got a breather.
You know that the patient's breathing. We got the B, the breathing. Next, you want to know for circulation. Is there any threat to the body's circulation? Oh my God. That there's no problem with the circulation in the body. So, you know, take a radial pulse at the wrist. Let me just check in here. Yep, we got a pulse. Let me just check your, what is it, a pedal pulse, I believe. Oh, let me just, yep, there we go. Decision on disability / immobilization is for letter D. So we need to take steps to immobilize their neck and spine. Well, I can't do the whole patient assessment while, you know, stabilizing the neck and spine, but generally someone would hold the person's head like this, you know. Or maybe our camera woman will do that for us. Woo! What a helpful human being. ABCDEs is exposed. So expose the wound, keep it out in the open so that you can, you know, treat it, which we've already done because it was, you know, pretty severe. Next, you want to do the head to toe exam. You maybe want to start with the head, as it is a head to toe exam. You know, there's like an order of sorts. So, carefully remove hats. Gonna carefully remove this hat, if you don't mind. Carefully remove. Don't want to stay. And then helmets, sunglasses, etc. I'm gonna go ahead and also remove these. Okay. Now you want to check the face by pressing on the bones. I'm gonna use the. Never mind. I was gonna say I'll use the back of my hands, but they're not doing very well either. So, is there any pain? Any kind of pain? No? Okay. Check the eyes, nose, and mouth. Yep. You don't have any ID or photo, I mean not photo, but medical ID necklaces. You seem fine. Yep. Okay. So we're going to check the shoulders next. Got to do that one shoulder at a time. So do you feel any pain?
Nope.
Okay, no pain. Any pain?
Nope.
Okay. And then next you have to do, give me 1 second, I have to remaneuver myself. You have to do the chest and abdomen. Okay, and so you put your hands on the side, precisely like this. Okay, breathe in. Any pain? Breathe in. Any pain? Breathe in. Any pain? Okay, and then abdomen, you just want to check. Any pain? Okay. And then you want to check your lower extremities, you know, the legs. Just want to go, you know, any pain? Any pain? Any pain? Can you feel these? Okay, you're good. And then we got to go with upper extremities, the arms. So any pain? Okay. Any pain? Right on the arm where the wound is. Okay. And then spine. You're gonna need some help. Okay. So now now we have to check the spine to make sure there's no spinal injuries. So first we have to stabilize the head and then help stabilizing the rest of the body. Now can you put this arm up like this? Just this one, I think. Should be fine. And then we're gonna go ahead and pull you up so that I can check your spine. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Check, make sure there's no injuries. Tell me if you feel any pain in your spine. Nothing. 3, 2, 1. Set your back down. There we go. So, spinal injuries. Now we have to check the vital signs, and the first thing you want to check is the level of responsiveness. So we got to ask, the patient is awake. Okay, we know that. So do you know who you are, like your name?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know where we are?
We're at a park.
Okay, and do you know like around what time of day it is?
Like noon.
Okay. And then do you know what happened? Like what got you into this situation?
Fell out of a tree.
Okay. So we know that the patient knows, they're completely responsive. We would call that A plus O times 4. Okay. And now we got to check heart rate. So we're going to count for 15 seconds to find a pulse. Just to, Okay. So the heart rate is kind of high. It's about 120. It should be like about 100 at rest. So we got to keep that in mind. Now we got to do the respiratory rate. So now we're going to check the respiratory rate. So what you're going to want to do is just put a finger right below the nose and then just count how many times they breathe in a minute. And then, do you want to actually sit here for a minute or? Okay. So we have the respiratory rate. We counted how many times she breathed in a minute. And right now it's about like 21, which is a little above average. So she's breathing kind of fast. But we'll get there. Okay, next we gotta check the skin color, temperature, and moisture. And so right now, just looking at her hand, it's kind of pale, kind of cold and clammy. It would even make sense. She did lose a lot of blood, you know what I mean? Okay. Okay, blood pressure. It's a little bit low. As I was checking her pulse earlier, it was kind of low, because it was hard to find. And so that might be because, she's lost quite a bit of blood. And then her pupils, we got to check to make sure her pupils react to sunlight, or just light in general. So close your eyes for us for a second. Okay, now open your eyes. Her pupils did seem to react to the sunlight, so that's pretty good. We got reactive pupils. And then temperature, we can't really tell, but right now seems a little hot. Maybe an issue. Sample history. It's mostly just, asking questions. So first we have to ask for your age. How old are you?
18.
Okay, and your sex?
Female.
And so what's your chief complaint? Like, what's the main issue here?
Got a cut of my arm.
Okay. And was this sudden or gradual? Is this pain sudden or?
Sudden.
Okay, that would make sense. So what makes the pain worse and what makes it better?
The tourniquet helped.
Okay. So how would you describe the pain? Sharp, dull, throbbing? Sharp pain? Okay. And so does the pain move at all, or is it just like where it is? Does it just kind of stay? Okay. And so how much would you say this hurts on a scale of 1 to 10?
Like a 5?
5. Okay. And so how long has this been going on, and has it gotten better or worse?
Getting better, sort of.
Okay. And so symptoms, I've noticed a little bit of like a fever, sort of. I don't know. Is there any other symptoms that you can think of that are going on right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you allergic to anything? Any medication, foods?
Allergic to cats.
Okay.
And trees.
And so medications, are you on any medications? Anything over the counter maybe?
Playing guitar.
Okay. And what about pertinent history? Have you felt this way before?
Yeah. Not really.
Okay. Do you have any other like medical issues generally?
No.
Okay. So when was the last time you ate food?
Lunch.
Okay, and the last time you like drank anything?
Lunch.
And when was the last time you urinated?
Eat like around breakfast.
Okay, and the last time you defecated?
Yesterday.
Okay. And so events, what led up to this incident?
I was climbing a tree and I fell.
Okay. So, based on the fact that she seems to be running a little bit of a fever and the arm, the wound seems to have a little bit of pus, we can tell that we're getting into almost a severe infection. Not quite severe yet. It's starting at mild, but you know, we want to get out so we can get some treatment. So our plan right now is to evacuate, and we're gonna, get her some treatment.
We done?
Yeah.
All right, cool.